because it's a skin tint.
Oh, right.
Hey everyone, welcome to today's video. Today we are going to be doing a foundation review. Although technically it's not a foundation, it's a skin tint. It is the Maybelline Superstay Skin Tint 24-hour wear time that everybody has been talking about recently. You guys know me, like skin tints are my thing during the summer. I really like the light coverage. And then preferably, I would love to find a skin tint that's gonna last on my skin for 24 hours because you guys know I am all about the longevity when it comes to my skin products. I want everything to stay on all day long. I don't have time and patience for not long wear products. Quick description of the Maybelline Superstay 24-hour skin tint. It has vitamin C in it. It is a long wear skin tint and it will deliver skin light coverage and a natural radiant finish while resisting sweat, humidity, and fading. One thing I did want to note though is that this skin tint retails for $18, like $17.99 at Ulta, which when did drugstore prices, like, I just feel like as I try new things, like they're just getting more and more expensive, which is crazy. So having said that, make sure you guys are utilizing your coupons at Ulta, make sure you're utilizing your coupons at CVS, get those savings where you can. So I have this in two different shades. I have this in 129 and 310. Maybelline usually tends to be very cool toned, very pink toned in their skin tints, and so I didn't know, truthfully, like I was like, well, I don't know what color I'm gonna be, so I got two. Let's go ahead and open this up. So it does say to shake it well, so let me actually do that first, shake both of these, and then we'll check out shade wise and kind of like fluidity wise what this looks like. All right, so here it is. It has a dropper. This is actually kind of thick in my opinion. It's not as fluid as some of those other skin tints. Like I'm thinking of the Cali Ray one. That one was like watery all over the palette. This one is definitely quite a bit thicker. Let's check out 129 just to see how that looks as well. Yeah, okay, so this is way pink. So this is 129 here, and this one is 310. Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna say, just because I'm completely in my summer color right now, I'm gonna say 310 might actually work really well. So we'll just go with that. I do have a light layer of moisturizer on right now, and then you guys know I always use the Yensa Tone Up Primer to prime my face when I'm testing out new foundations or new skin tints. Really quick, I just want to say that for skin tints, I don't tend to use beauty blenders or sponges to apply skin tints. I just feel like it removes a lot of that coverage, and so I am just going to be testing this with a foundation brush. Hopefully that's okay with you all. I'm just going to apply one side first. Actually, this looks like a pretty good summer shade match for me. It doesn't have a smell to it. It smells a little bit like clay, but it's not like a fragranced skin tint by any means. And that actually smoothed on really nicely, actually. I'm just gonna do just a light layer again on my trouble zone here, and I'm gonna kind of press that into my skin, build that coverage. It does say that it is a buildable coverage skin tint, so I was like, I'm gonna test that. All right, that looks pretty good actually. I actually feel like it was very easy to blend out. I am noticing though that my pores are very accentuated. Could be because I'm having skin issues today. I'm not too sure. That's something that I'm definitely gonna check throughout the week, is just see how this like works with my pores. Other than that though, it looks very smooth, very like just light, natural, but I'm not loving how my pores look here. Let's go ahead and apply it to the rest of the face. All right, so I'm trying to see if I can just press some of this skin tint into my skin to try and alleviate some of those pore issues, but this is super accentuated. I actually really don't like that. Obviously, throughout the week, what I'll do is I'll use a primer that is a little bit more pore filling to see if I can kind of remedy some of that. But off the first impressions of this, like I don't like this area. The rest of my face though looks pretty freaking good. Like it's very natural. I like it. Everything else looks like it has smoothed on really well. I don't have any like weird creasing, no patchiness. Even though it has a little bit of a thicker texture, I didn't have a hard time blending it out. It looks okay as a skin tint. It's not bad. I'm not furious at it, minus this. Okay, we're gonna put on the rest of my makeup and we'll be right back to let you know how the rest of the products like applied on top. Oh, it was an interesting ride with this skin tint. So all of my liquid products applied really, really well on top, but the powder was a little bit concerning. So I actually have on a layer of the PYT Beauty, this is the Set Me Up setting powder. I actually use this to set my under eyes, so my concealer, and then I actually brought it a little bit lower onto my cheeks just to see if I could kind of get some of that pores to just fill in and look a little bit more airbrushed, if you will. There was a moment in time before I set my face that I was like, this is a disaster. My pores are looking worse. The translucent powder didn't really go on very like smoothly on top of it. Things are starting to kind of fall apart. I put the bronzer on, and I'm talking like I put on some of my favorite products. So this is the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. I put on the Dior blush, which is fantastic. My highlight is from Flower Beauty. These are all products that I know and trust and love. My face just kind of was giving off like it looked just very dead, if that makes sense. Like the powder just somehow did not look super good on it. However, what I did do is I set it down with the Cali Ray Surf Proof Setting Spray, and now I feel like everything has kind of just blended into my skin. Everything looks a lot more airbrushed and finished on my face. I'm looking a lot more glowy, a lot more natural, and so I'm not really sure exactly what happened in between that step, but I'm very curious to see for the rest of the week, like, if that continues to happen, because I don't know, there was some like, there were some treacherous waves in between the first, beginning step and then the final step here. So you guys know the drill whenever we do these first impressions. Like, I mean, honestly now, right? Like, it looks good. Everything looks fine. Everything looks totally fine. I mean, okay, you can definitely still see my pores, which but like, I don't know, it looks okay. So here's what we're gonna do. You guys know how this usually goes, as I was saying previously. We're gonna do wear tests throughout the day. I'm gonna do regular check-ins. Today's gonna be a very, very busy day, and it is hot as balls in California, so we are definitely gonna put this skin tint to the test. I will come back at the end of the week to let you guys know my final thoughts, how it works with some of my other products, if I can figure out how to make it work, if I can get rid of these pores, etc., etc. So, see you guys in a bit. Okay, hey everyone, first check-in. We are now 4.5 hours into wearing the skin tint. Everybody say hello to Obi. We are currently in the car. Don't worry, the AC is on and we'll be out of here shortly. So first things first, as I look in the mirror, honestly, like, I do think that this foundation looks really beautiful in natural light. Obviously, I'm in the car. Things just look fantastic in the car, to be honest. But it looks really, really good. I'm excited about how natural everything looks. I would say this is not the most, like, invisible skin tint, if you will. Like, it's very clear to me that I'm wearing something on top of my skin, but it looks very, very light. Now, the one thing that I will say about this that I'm a little bit nervous about is that, like, I feel like I look dewier and more radiant than I would normally like at the 4.5 hour mark, because I tend to be more on the combo oily side, and so when things are looking this radiant at the 4.5 hour mark, I get very, very concerned about whether or not this is going to make it to like even the 8 hour, 12 hour point before it starts breaking down on my face. Now, I could be pleasantly surprised, who knows, I'm not sure. That's the whole point of testing out skin tints and foundations, but that's where we are right now. What is that? What, do we see something? What do we see? Okay. All right. We're gonna go on a quick walk, head up to our friend's house, and then, yeah, I'll continue checking in for the rest of the day. I'll see you guys in about another 4 hours or so. All right, we are now at the 8 hour mark, and I actually, okay, so previously 4 hours ago when I was like talking about how it looks super radiant and whatnot, I was very nervous about it because it was starting to feel like it was gonna start like be too oily and start patching off, but 4 hours later, actually, it looks even better than it did 4 hours ago, which is actually quite surprising. So we'll do a couple of close-ups here, but you can see everything is holding on really nicely, and like even in the natural light, like it looks good. Now, one thing that I will say, obviously, and this is just a continuation from this morning when I put on like the first impressions side of it, my pores are still like, I don't like how that looks, but I do think that like everything else looks really good. If that's the only thing that I don't like about this so far at the 8 hour mark, like this is actually wearing really, really well. I'm actually pretty impressed with it. Here's my forehead. And here's the cheeks, the bronzer, everything is pretty much intact. So yeah, we'll see at the end of the day how it looks. We'll see. I think we're gonna be able to at least definitely get to a 12-hour mark with this first impressions, so I'll let you guys know. All right, we are at the final check-in of the day. I'm so tired. It's like almost, no, it is midnight already here. So this skin tint has literally been on for 14 hours. I don't know why that math was so hard to do just now. Whatever. So actually, I'm fairly impressed with this skin tint. Actually, I was gonna say, you can definitely see it's missing from here. I mean, this is all very normal because I feel like when I'm eating and wiping my mouth, this part just generally kind of disappears. My forehead, yes, very shiny, but it doesn't look like anything has really broken apart. I'm actually rather surprised. I really thought around the 4-hour mark, I was really feeling kind of down about this skin tint. I really felt like it was going to fall apart. My pores were showing everywhere. It was just like I was not feeling it. But this at the 14-hour mark is better than a lot of other skin tints that I have tried. And so for that, I feel like this is definitely worth me continuing to test throughout the week. Obviously, like the true test is gonna be, okay, is this gonna literally be fine through meetings, like stressful meetings, sales calls, all sorts of stuff. And so that to me is the true test. I will also get workouts in this week and let you guys know how that goes. But so far so good, just really, really shiny on my forehead, but can't complain that much. So for 14 hours skin tint, like, all right. So I'm exhausted. I have one more thing to finish for work and then we'll be going to bed. So I will see you guys at the end of the week with my final thoughts. Hey everyone, we are now at the end of the week, so let's talk about our final thoughts for the Maybelline Superstay Skin Tint. Okay, it's an okay skin tint. There is not too much wrong with it in terms of the way that it wears. In terms of primers, I will say do not go with like any of the like e.l.f. putty primers. Do not try and use like the Tatcha like silk canvas primer. You have to literally use, like the only one that it really worked with and worked well with was the Fenty primer that is like the mattifying one. So if you are more on the combo oily side of this, just be aware that it does tend to get a little bit more greasy throughout the day. I would highly recommend using a mattifying primer with this. And then honestly, like not even really moisturizing your face before you apply this, like, and you'll get a longer wear time out of it. In terms of the powders and stuff, for the most part, I don't know if it just didn't mix well with some of the powders that I was trying during my first impressions. I didn't have that problem for the rest of the week. I was still able to keep my skin looking pretty like natural and like naturally glowy. Other powders that I used, like the Kimchi Chic powder, did not make my face look dead the way that it did on the first impressions. I don't know, that was kind of just a weird day. Again, I don't know if maybe my skin was just feeling very like dull that day or whatever it was. Now, here's my biggest complaint about the skin tint. It does not resist sweat, like at all, like not even a little bit. So the second that I started working out, like if I touched my face, that skin tint was gone. And I mean like gone, like it would literally just wipe off on my hands. And I was like, okay, this is not awesome. When they claim that it's a 24-hour skin tint, the reason why I am giving this like an okay rating and not like amazing is because like if you're gonna market something as like 24 hours, bro, I need it to be like actual, like at least get me to like 10 hours. And if you're gonna say that it is also like sweat resistant, then be truly sweat resistant. Like when my days got really intense, it did not hold up as long as I wanted it to. So a little bit more tough on it simply just because of the description. But if you're looking for a skin tint, you know, from the drugstore, like it doesn't look bad. Like this is actually after a full day of like meetings. You can see that it's like starting to kind of come apart in a few places. My pores still kind of look really intense, but it's not like the worst thing, but it's not like the best thing. I'm not exactly sure why everyone's raving about it because this is not a product I would necessarily rave about. Possibly, again, because I do have pores and I do have combo oily skins. Take what you will from this review. That is pretty much how I feel about the Superstay Skin Tint. This is probably not an item I am going to repurchase just because I don't feel like it is truly a longwear product. False advertising is like the worst offense you could commit, in my opinion. So anyway, all right, hope you guys enjoyed this review. Hope you found it helpful. If you liked it, please feel free to like this video, subscribe to our channel if you haven't already, and I will see you guys next week. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.